Peace, peace. Plant Therapy logging on live. Gonna let a few people join. Got my plant tunes going on in the background. Beautiful sounds. Hope everyone is well. Everyone is lovely. Gonna have a little chat today about horticulture therapy and what plant therapy is all about. So, if you don't know, I am Kim, aka Golden Aunt Don, owner of Plant Therapy LLC, and that is a company focused and driven to see my community heal through plants. Right. Well, and that was derived from a actual process of therapy called horticulture therapy, and I was very intrigued with that. And prior to plant therapy being created, I had a company called All Living Things, and there I just created succulent arrangements and did services here and there. But plant therapy is dedicated and driven towards the healing of those through plants. And plants can heal in all sorts of ways. So we're just going to talk about horticulture therapy today. And I did a little research, and I just wanted to go over what it is, the actual process of horticulture therapy, and its effects on depression, anxiety, and trauma. Okay, so we're just going to go and talk about some definitions right now. And what is horticulture? When I tell people I'm in horticulture, the field of horticulture, they're like, okay, what is that? So horticulture, along with agriculture and botany, all dealing with plants, all dealing with life, all dealing with growing. But horticulture is the art or practice of garden cultivation and management. So you have the big farms that go through the process of agriculture. And then on a smaller scale, in a greenhouse or something like that, you have horticulture, where the cultivation of those plants or the crops is taking place. So with that, horticulture therapy uses plants and gardening to promote health and wellness. It is rooted in the principle that plants and people share the rhythm of life. I am a believer in the term biophilia. Once I learned it, I was like, that is me. And it is humans' innate connection with nature, and it is a love of life or living things. So I'm a lover of life. I love plants. I'm connected to nature innately. It is my nature. So let's go a little further into what therapy is. Therapy defined is treatment intended to relieve or heal a disorder. Okay, and horticulture therapy is a complementary therapy along with a formal therapy. And now we're going to go into what I've been sent to cater to for certain people who are dealing with depression, anxiety, and trauma. And we're just going to go into the definition, the Oxford definition of those quote unquote diseases. So depression is a medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act, causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. And in some way, form, or fashion, people have dealt with this. And whether they want to admit it or not, whether they know it or not, whether you just don't feel like doing anything, you've lost the lust for life. So going on, anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, excessive apprehension about real or perceived threats. So you're thinking about something in the future that hasn't even happened yet, and you get a feeling attached to it, and it makes you feel uneasy. So that's dealing with that anxiety. And trauma, a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. So the smallest thing that I could perceive is trauma, but for you is something very major, very serious that has happened to you, or something that happened to a large group of people at the same time. It was a traumatic experience for each and every person. And there are different types of trauma. There are three main types of trauma. One being acute, that results from a single incident, such as a car accident or something like that. Chronic trauma is repeated and prolonged, so something that happens continuously over long periods of time. And complex trauma, exposure to varied and multiple traumatic events. And that could happen to a group of people, say the African American community through slavery, that sticks with us, is embedded in our genome. So we're going to go into the history of horticulture therapy. And that term, the actual term, was coined as a therapeutic practice in the 1800s by Benjamin Rush, and it became popular in the 1950s. However, this practice has been used for centuries as comedic physicians advise patients with mental illness to walk in the garden. So if someone had a distress going on, the physician would just say, go walk in the garden and you'll feel a relief and release of stress and trauma, anxiety, depression. So studies have shown that people dealing with depression and other mental illness have shown significant improvements after spending dedicated time in garden. And that I can definitely attest to that. If you're feeling anxious about something, get out into nature, get your hands in some dirt, and that will definitely help you lift the burden on your heart. So we're going to go into the benefit of horticulture therapy. One, it improves your mood. Just being able to sit with nature, get out, do something constructive that you can use your imagination with, you're going to feel lighthearted. And it's going to improve your mood. It definitely improves social skills. So, gardening can be a solo activity, or you can do it with a group, and that will help you connect with others. There are some with social anxieties who just don't like to be in crowds, but through this act of gardening or through cultivating plants or just simply being out in nature, you are able to improve your social skills. Horticulture therapy also improves memory and cognition, which is brain function. So just the activity. And horticulture therapy is very deep in detail for those with disabilities, who are newly living with disabilities or born with disabilities, who have cognitive impairments. So this activity, the activities brought forth through horticulture therapy, definitely improve those disabilities. It also promotes emotional growth, self-confidence, and esteem. and it rekindles interest in the future. And that's what I say. I've been saying this when I do my succulent classes. This activity, though it's simple, it helps you look into the future. If you're someone who thinks that all hope is lost, that there's no future, this simple activity helps you see past what's going on, that you can look into the future and plan, how am I going to take care of this plant? How am I going to get it on a watering schedule? With your garden, you have to plant that seed and see it through to harvest. And that takes time. And it also, horticulture therapy reduces stress. So I am delving more into my research, definitely looking forward to getting certified in horticulture therapy so I can go further with that. But as it stands right now, Plant Therapy is a company that is driven to see their community heal through plants and nature. And how I do that with the services that I offer as Plant Therapy offers, we offer the succulent garden workshops, create your own succulent garden workshop in person or online. Also, the create your own succulent garden box. So that is a box that you can order, and all of the supplies are inside. You get your succulent, you get your soil, your rocks, and a pot. And then you get instructions on how to put that together. And the reviews I've gotten are raving because, such a simple activity, again, it lifts your mood, it lightens your heart, and you are able to sit and not think about what's going on outside, not think about the troubles that you're dealing with, and work through some issues that you may be dealing with. Also offering indoor plant installation. If you want some plant life in your home, I could come in and advise you on what would go best with the lighting that you have, with the type of atmosphere that you're already providing, and what you're dealing with. We know plants provide airflow, but they also give off a vibration, an inaudible vibration that is healing to us. So that is another service that Plant Therapy offers. Also, raised bed garden build. And that is where, if you want to grow your own food, I can come in to help you build that raised bed or container garden or whatever type of garden your space will allow, so that you can begin to grow your own food and nourish yourself. And again, another form of plant therapy, in my opinion, is eating nutritious foods as much as you can, because intaking that vibration, that high vibration, will also lift your mood, reduce stress, and decrease depression, trauma, and anxiety. And also, if I have the Seed to Harvest gardening workbook that can go along with that garden that you're creating, because this is a step-by-step workbook that helps you build and grow your own food from seed to harvest. And if you don't want to do any of that, we can go on a nature walk. And getting out in nature alone raises your vibration. Being out with trees and birds and the sun and just fresh air you can breathe is just amazing for you. So these are services that Plant Therapy offers. I just wanted to come on and give a little background, a little history, a little research that I've done on this fact. And I just wanted to come on and let me know how you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about horticulture therapy, if you want to support me in my endeavors to becoming certified in horticulture therapy, I would greatly appreciate it. So just drop a comment, leave a heart, and I will see you next time. Peace.